Hi there, it's Kasia from Tarot Map, and in this video I just wanted to share with you how I go about rechecking for myself, right? This is my chart, rechecking for myself what's going on for me energetically, because I'm having some issues right now with my base and sacral chakra. I just stopped on that, and I wanted to see if asteroids, which I'm really passionate about right now, if there's anything that they can show up and show me and pinpoint me to something in my chart. So I have checked some, I chose some of the asteroids. I'm sure there's many more that I could play with, but I picked some that are associated with healing. So Hygeia, which usually in my chart is in the sign of Cancer in 11th house, that just shows me, the position when I was born, and that it has a lot to do with nurturing and loving and caring. And I think that healing that I most benefit with is the connection, with the mothering myself, but because it's in the house of friendships and groups of people, I think also connecting with people who like I have a lot of female friends specifically right now, that I get a lot of support from, and that really heals me and supports me and nurtures me and helps me to heal. Okay, so this Hygeia by transits, it's interesting that I speak about the base and sacral chakra, because we move by transit to the base of the chart, right? We at the angle here at IC Imum Coeli, and that's in psychological terms we would call it the cellar of our house, right? And this is where our roots are, this is where our ancestors sit, this is where our family, where biological karma has influence and reigns over us. This is one of the most private things in our chart, right? Because I have very closely to this point Moon and Venus close to IC. This Hygeia is actually moving across those feminine planets, right? And I would consider Moon and Venus in some ways, especially based on where they place in my chart, with the base and with the sacral chakra. I would also look for the sacral chakra around the creativity home and so on, so we get there too. But here this Hygeia is very close. Right now it is on it's actually on 15 degrees Libra, so it's slowly, and they move quite quickly, it's slowly moving towards that point. And I think Hygeia is the goddess of healing and health. This is maybe going to be a positive influence. That's what I'm hoping. I checked that by December 10th it's going to be on 24 degrees Libra, so it moves just past my moon, right, into the 4th house, into the family house, into the area of life that's responsible for my home as well, for my roots, for where I feel I belong, and so on. So there's going to be some healing process happening here, which I take as a good sign when you have the goddess of healing moving through the area which you kind of feeling, like you're lacking energy there. Dolores, which is another archetype of pain, suffering, can indicate illness or agony, is actually sitting right now on my Uranus, so it's aspecting that part in my 4th house as well, that's responsible for individuation, for awareness, for feeling freedom to break through certain restrictions that I might come with, some conditioning and so on. It's in Scorpio, my Uranus, so very base also, very base and sacral chakra. And Dolores indicating this illness and agony. I have a sense that it has to do with some, because it's interesting that this Dolores is right now on for Scorpio, right? And it's kind of squaring in some way, just of 2 degrees, right? But squaring my Saturn, and this Saturn is close to Dolores natally, so there's some coloration also to maybe the idea of authority and the idea of fighting with authority or being in this process of really regaining my own authority also energetically, because I can't escape this idea that Uranus is a very kind of energetic planet. But because it's in Scorpio in my natal chart, it also has to do with the sexual organs, you know, with all this sacral and base chakra stuff. And base chakra because it's in the 4th house. And then I looked at Pain-Leva, which is another kind of asteroid showing up that maybe some pain or some pains or something is not right, and it's actually conjoining this Dolores here. So there's like input on kind of some, you know, illness or pain, and here it's in the 12th house in this Cancer, so it can have to do maybe with diet as well, because Cancer speaks about nurturing and feeding people and being like motherly around it, so the digestion and stuff, and it's very similar to what I'm dealing with. And then we have this Panacea, which is another asteroid, and it's an interesting one also because that's where we get Panaceum, right? Something like what helps us heal. And this Panacea is actually on 1 degree Sagittarius, so it's also moving towards my Sun, which is nice. And there's Vesta also. Vesta is right now on 3 degrees Sagittarius, so also very close, moving towards my Sun. And Esculapia, which is also a goddess of healing, she's on 3 degrees of Sagittarius. So I feel like based on these little, you know, asteroids, I feel like there is some spiritual healing going on, and that it's actually, I think I'm getting the healing and support that I need, and I am giving it to myself as well, with the support of friends and with the support of people who are, you know, sending me good energy and such stuff like this. Here we have also Reiki, very close to transiting Venus, and it's in my 6th house of health, and my natural Reiki is very close here to the relationship house. So I think I respond well also right now to artistic way and energy shifting with Reiki energy. And Flora, which is the goddess of plants, right? And I always feel of her like, or think of her like the flower. How do we call it? Like different, you know, herbal tinctures and flower essences. That's what I meant. So she's in the 3rd house. She will be coming towards Pluto and then moving towards these feminine planets as well. And the bottom of the chart, Aries, which is you know, the goddess of discord, and if she's not recognized and acknowledged, she can really create chaos. She's sitting on my Chiron, and it's in opposition to these planets, so also there is some anger or some, you know, inflammation which I'm having. It can have to do also with my work and how I express myself, how I set boundaries, and what I think I'm achieving right now. And there's also some Achilles heel that's happening and traveling together through this point. And I am having, you know, quite a lot of kind of shifts in my head right now of how and what direction I want to go, how I want to restructure my pricing, how I want to change my website, and all of this stuff. And that all will be happening, and I think I'm in this transition way, you know, period. But I just love to show you how these little things show up in our charts and how fascinating that can be. And at the same time, because it is the month of my birth, like, you know, I'm born 29th of November, I am going to put up on my website today, and from today, which is 22nd November till 22nd of December, so for a month, I'm going to offer a special price for these asteroid readings, because I'm still learning, but it's actually, I'm putting it all manually, and I'm, you know, trying to figure out what asteroids can be important for you at this moment. So because it's still kind of like in the process of learning and developing this skill, they're going to be at the price of $85. So I'm going to put it up today. If any of you is interested in figuring out what asteroids are important for you and so on and so forth, you can book this reading, you know, in the on my website. And here I also wanted to share that there's also other ways that I love to work. So first of all, also I do journaling around this, what I'm going through right now. I work with stones and with and they're not just any stones, okay? This is something that I have been using for years now around healing. This is a stone that I call Chiron because a wounded healer, right? And it's a self-healed stone. So it has all these little self-healed crystal, means that it has all these little ends on the broken bit. It started growing, you know, like a crystal would. And even though it's still wounded, and that's what I loved about it, that it's not perfect, it's self-healed, and it's been used, it's been with me since 2010, I think. So this crystal, you know, it's been in many places. Some of the stones come as new but beautiful gifts from friends and feel very healing. Some others also, you know, with the skull, some I had for a long time, some I have received again from lovely, just supportive friends. I love working with chakra energy, but consciously now, you know, so I'm not pulling what chakra is, like I know right now which chakras I am having to focus on at this particular moment. So the base and the sacral. Here with the roses also we have this Gaia center and Earth Star center, so something that supports us from, you know, from the earth up. And then these two, and when I pulled some cards today for these chakras, you know, I keep checking every day, but they keep swapping. Sometimes the sacral feels a little bit better, but I'm believing that, you know, if the base is not if the base is not feeling strong enough, or it's not supported, then probably the sacral cannot really be strong as well. But I got Devil here, so this is from Tarot of the Crown. I have, you know, one of the old editions, and it's interesting to see this Devil because it feels just fear. All I feel when I look at it, it's fear. And when we have a lot of fear in the base chakra, we feel uprooted, we feel weaker, right? That's why I think supporting the base chakra with these two would be just a great way to strengthen and to work with the Devil more, to have, you know, more power and passion to use to strengthen that base. And it's interesting because the word I got, it's experience. So it's something that maybe I know how to do, something I have experienced before, something I have experienced to shift. So that was quite good this way. Funny enough, of course, if I pull a card from the energy archaeology oracle, I get pelvis as well, and it's creation. I love how it's just, you know, the shape, it's just exactly of my healing crystal. And I don't know why, but I feel maybe because of these little circles here, that the energy here needs to be circular and supported through the circular motion. So I'm using the crystal, you know, clear quartz ball to. And I feel like this is through imagination, and also because I believe everything is connected, even though it's happening on the table and not on my body in some way, on energetic matrix. I feel like it does have an input. So with the sacral chakra here, with the rose, I got today this beautiful strength card, and it's very kind of Kundalini reminiscent, right? But it has that golden snake, something that holds energy, gold, and this nakedness of the woman. And I love how she's kind of blind, you know. And I feel like there is a time, it says ease also, of the whispering word from Trisha. So it feels like the more ease and flexibility you bring forth, the easier this empowering energy can pass through you, right? And so I'm using items like, you know, rosaries that I often pray onto, or that have been to many sacred places with me as the strengthening stones as well. I use, you know, the power of the Dark Mother as well, the sound with with chimes, which I showed you. Also anointing things, you know, as I said, my friend Ella, she gifted me this holy oil, so often I just anoint things that I feel like, you know, can in my imagination can strengthen or inspire me to bring that energy forth when it's blocked. So that's what I thought I'd share. As I said, I would love to do more of these asteroid things. It would be amazing for people, especially who had life purpose reading with me, because you need to know a little bit of your chart. But other than that, even if you don't, you might just get fun with, you know, some asteroids that pop up for you. And I mostly work with asteroids of healing and transformation and divine feminine. So if this is of your interest, please take a look at my website, and hopefully, you know, you get that. Also, if you didn't have an astrology reading, I highly invite you to check out my astrology offering. It does involve right now the important asteroids for you. So if you want to connect asteroids and astrology session, you just get the life purpose reading, and you will have asteroids included in it right now as well. Also, for any of these kind of divine feminine ways, my class Devotion and Divination with Mary shows quite a few different things about the sacred items and how to use divination for embracing devotion and shifting energy. So you can get this one from me as well. So yes, that's what I wanted to share, and I thought that this is something you know, interesting for you guys, and also healing for me. And in some way, you know, my Hygeia is in 11th house of sharing and of community. So I thought like this is something also that will help me maybe unblock stuff. But at the same time, I really feel like I have been called to this meeting with the Dark Mother, you know, that there is just time when I might not want to spread out and overshare in some way. This is a time when I need to maybe really focus on the base. And I'm kind of like boggled sometimes a little bit, thinking like, you know, because of the culture of constant movement forward and bettering and getting better and improving and getting more famous and getting more clients, and we get caught in those thoughts. And sometimes when the spiraling time, which I believe in, takes you down and into that resting thing, you know, I'm a Sagittarius, I'm a fire sign, right? I have a lot of bloody fire in my chart, and to me this resting spiral or that dying time, it feels uncomfortable. So, but I think through astrology and through seeing the cycles, you know, Pluto squaring all of these, Pluto squaring all this Chiron and Aries, there is some healing that needs to happen with the darkness, with the underworld. So I think that's where astrology is amazing at, and that's where it really helps me to not go crazy, you know. So thank you so much for watching, and I speak to you another time.